Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
I'm Jo'Van.
And I'm Brandice.
And you're watching
Closing the Gap.
I'm so excited that you're here. I almost went into our old opening monologue, but I wouldn't have made it halfway through because
I would have
been a
helped you
minute.
out.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe not. But
You want to do it? No, we're not going to do it.
No, we're not going to. Tune into first 24 episodes.
Exactly.
You'll hear it.
Exactly. Get burned into your skull. Today, we have a very, very lighthearted topic that I'm so excited to get into.
Is it lighthearted?
Yeah.
I guess so. People need to know, I guess. But they might be struggling, so it might not be.
They're fine. Signs your relationships is over. No, it's funny. This is not a very lighthearted topic. But we're going to try to,
make it funny and joyful.
If you're going through this, we're going to make, we got to laugh sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's life, man.
We are your escape to bring joy and happiness to your life.
Exactly.
And to show you, even if you find yourself in any of these signs, there's joy on the other side. It's not too late to get out and find your joy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Always choose happiness and, your mental, emotional health.
Yes.
100%.
That part, people.
Let's get into it. All right.
Okay.
So I see that you have some. We can go back and forth.
Yes,
or
let's do it.
All right. So the first one is there's no emotional connection. Now, that is not a good relationship at all. Like, imagine just coming home every day and it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, man, you gotta have something there. You know what I'm saying?
So if she just looked good or he just looked good, that's not good enough?
Well, it depends. Is it Michael B. Jordan? We talked about this.
We did talk about this. But if that's all you have, that can only go so far, just a short relationship. But a long-lasting, healthy relationship, even if it was Michael B. Jordan, I wanted to shed a tear for that. But even if it was Michael B. Jordan, if there was nothing else outside of just a good-looking man, then no.
I will be in an unhappy marriage with Megan Good, and I'll be proud of it.
No, I want to be happy.
Okay.
Because I guess when the trying times come in life, you have to have more than looks, and I think that's the key. I mean,
no, that's facts. That's facts. So that emotional connection is huge. Plus, when you don't have the emotional connection at home, I think that opens you up to, having emotional connections
with other people,
unhealthy ones outside. So,
yes.
and that's even worse for the relationship. So
start looking for the things you don't have in your relationship outside, and that's not good.
Right. So
you start growing apart. The love is fading. So, I mean, if that emotional connection was there and it starts to fade, I kind of like reiterate what he said, but that's a sign. Like if it's like you don't even care anymore. It's like you're kind of get with the person, that excitement. I'm not saying you're gonna be excited all the time,
right?
But if it's just like all the time, you're just like indifferent, just like
right. And that's a good point. I want to throw this in there. I was reading up on like cycles and relationships because I feel like in a lot of movies, like they make it seem like relationships are like this linear thing where the guy meets girl, they like each other, they go through something, they get through it, and now they're happy forever. But that's not real relationships. Real relationships have cycles. Like you'll have times where it's like you got the honeymoon phase, and then and the honeymoon phase is when you see everything right about the person and nothing wrong. But then you get into that next phase where you're like, oh, okay. You're like, okay, there's some things I don't like. And then you get into the next phase where you only see the negative stuff and none of the good stuff. And then, you know what I'm saying? But then if you can get past that, I'm not saying force it, but if y'all truly care about each other and can move past that, you can get into that happiness phase again. But it's a cycle. So, just because, there's little emotional connection, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, it's depending on how long it goes for, I think. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Because like you said, there are going to be peaks and valleys. And
right.
It's going to be like, and I think the thing with today, people like that instant whatever. So anytime things get bad, they're just like, oh, no. And that's not what we're saying. We're not saying give up at the first sign of like, oh, I'm quote unquote not happy. But if your unhappiness is prolonged and you tried everything, you tried to find that spark with date nights or trying different things, and it's still not happening, you still just have no connection. That's what we're talking about. Not just giving up just because it gets quote unquote hard or you're quote unquote not happy because it's fleeting, whatever. That's not what we're talking about. So that's what I want to make sure.
Yeah, because we all go through things as an individual, and sometimes that's going to affect our emotional health, and it doesn't necessarily. It may not have to do with the other person, so you got to take that into account. You can't make the person 100% responsible for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, no, that's facts. Okay, let me get my second one. Let's see what we got here. Physical intimacy does not appeal to you anymore. So, that doesn't always just have to, that's not just saying like sex. That's like, you don't even want to touch them. Like,
oh my gosh.
That to me is a big red flag.
I remember I was like dating this guy and like I was not attracted whatsoever, but I tried. I really did try. But even just the simple of him trying to grab my hand, I was like, oh my god.
Please no.
No, so that's so serious.
Yeah, it is.
Like he'll try to hug me, and so that is real. Like if you just can't even like any kind of intimacy, simple as holding hands, a hug, whatever. Listen.
That's a big. Pay attention to that.
Yes. If they're withdrawing every time you try to like cuddle or give a hug or whatever, it's like, what's going on? What? Yeah, that is good.
And then next thing you know, you're at the office and you bump hands with the handsome guy across another cubicle, and it's just like, like, oh my gosh. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, yeah, something ain't right here. But no, physical intimacy matters.
Yes. Next one, if your relationship is one-sided. Listen, it takes two to tango. If you're the person always trying to put in the work, communicate, forgive, all of the things that makes a relationship work. If you're the only person doing it, is not reciprocating any of those actions that need to help the relationship along. Yeah. Listen, that person might have checked out.
That's draining.
It is draining. Like
right.
You're trying to, okay, I'm going to make this spark again. Like, listen.
And you deserve better than that. You deserve someone who wants to put in the same amount of energy.
Yeah.
That if you're putting in all the work, if you feel bad, that's because that's what happens when you put in all the energy and the other person does. You're going to feel bad. So, yeah, pay attention to that. Also, there's no trust anymore. Man, that's tough. Trust is huge.
Listen, if you don't have trust, you're gonna lose your mind. Because you're like, where are you? What are you doing? Like,
anxiety is gonna be through the roof.
That part. Anytime that person leaves, you're gonna be like, who are you texting? What are you doing over there? Like, he smiled at text his phone. What are you doing? Like, who are you texting? Like, I don't have time. If I don't trust you, goodbye.
And it's not even just trust, like in the sense of like, other people. It's like trust with like finances or trust with, they're like those big things. If you can't trust the person, then that's going to be a constant headache. That's got to, what I'm saying? Something's got to be done or it's not going to work.
And also, is it like a thing that you're bringing into a relationship that you're just bringing past hurt, that you're not trusting that person, not giving them a clean slate?
Man.
That's a whole different. You need to work on yourself because you can't put all your past trust issues on that new person. You have to give that person a clean slate. Don't ever bring like, well, Billy did this. I know you're doing this. Like, no, Billy was just a bad person. I'm Jonathan. Like, no.
I remember. I'm not gonna tell the whole story because we don't have time. But I remember I dated this one girl, and she had trust issues in the past, and I got all of that. Like, I got all of it. I remember one time I lost my keys, and she was like, "What are you looking for?" And I'm just like, "I'm just looking for my keys. I'm trying to leave." And she was just like, she made it seem like I had this whole like agenda.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, nah, I'm just looking for my keys. It was crazy.
That's funny.
I mean, I felt very projected on in that moment for sure.
Yes.
What's up?
That's fine. Okay. If you are compromising your values, listen, that is never a good sign. If you feel like you ever have to compromise yourself to be in a relationship, listen, that is definitely that's not the relationship you need to be. Like, not even like some of this stuff like you have to like think through. Like, that is not it. Point blank period. If you ever have to compromise on anything you believe your core values, not it, dog. Time to go. Don't even get started. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, there may be some differences in, but the major ones.
Yeah, your core values.
Core values.
Yeah. I'm not saying, he likes Rocky Road. I'm not gonna. No, we mean true fundamental values.
Right.
Like your faith or things of that, and you want to compromise your faith or whatever the case may be. If it's something that's very true to you, don't ever compromise.
Facts. And then I got one. So what do you think about this one?
Okay.
Someone else seems more appealing, like than your significant other.
Like your as far as attraction.
It just said appealing. Like when I was looking up, and I was like, what does that mean? Because I'm like, okay, you're gonna find like some people more physically attractive. Like that's a big world. There's a lot of people. Like to think that you'll never find anyone else more attractive is just unrealistic.
Exactly.
But like,
in all aspects,
do you feel like that's a red flag? Do you feel like that's a deal breaker that says that you need to move on?
Okay, let's break this down.
All right, we might need more than
30 seconds. Real quick.
Break it down, Brandice.
No, because yes, like you said, you can find somebody who's more attractive. I mean, gosh, there's Michael B. Jordan out there. So if I'm not with him, there's always going to be somebody more attractive.
Everyone's a loser.
Just saying.
Everyone's a loser.
Let's just be real out there.
Just because he exists, everyone's a loser. I'm weak.
So, but I feel like if you're with your person and you're not that happy and you find happiness out, and you see that quality that you want in everybody, does that make sense? Like every single thing is like you're not happy with,
that's a good point.
And you're like seeking it out and seeing it in other people, then maybe obviously little stuff like more attractive, because
right.
But if it's something that you're like always just everything is like, I'm not really happy, I'm this other person, so I can't explain it, but yes, I do. It can be. I don't think it's 100% a red flag, but it can be.
Right, I agree.
think if that,
no, that does make sense.
Sorry,
that makes perfect sense. You just got to pay attention to it and really like analyze like how big of a deal. Because if you, like you said, if everyone's more attractive to you,
like the mailman, oh man,
yeah.
Or like, I'm not even just attraction, just every quality like that your man has is like you see it better in somebody, everybody else.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
Yeah, you're just always seeking, because first of all, you should be so happy that yes, you see somebody's attractive or nicer or whatever the other quality is, but it shouldn't make you like second think your person. So I think that's the key. If it's making you second guess, like, am I in the right relationship? Then maybe it can be.
Okay.
So, and then one last thing that is a huge thing, and I think that this should be said about any relationship. If you're going through physical or mental or emotional abuse, if there's ever the case, I don't care how small, if they're verbally or physically, because there's a lot of things like, oh, well, he's not to touch me, whatever. If he's
or she or she,
thank you, that is true. If he or she is abusing you in any kind of way, then that is time. The first time is enough time for you to get out. Don't ever stick around thinking if he apologized, or she.
He only smacked me once. It's like,
yeah, no, for real though. Like, if he did it once, he will do it again. Like,
or she.
They will do it again.
There you go.
So
let's get our pronouns right.
And if it starts off a little, it's just a teasing, it's whatever. No, if it's you, please keep your eye out on that. And if they,
there's some sexism on this episode.
Because I'm speaking for the ladies. You can speak for the.
Well, if she's slapping you and calling you names and talking about your mama and all that, you need to go, okay? Because that is not okay. You're a king.
You're a queen.
There you go. But yes, guys, thank y'all for tuning into this episode.
Yes. And there's other things to look out for, but those are the very top ones, I believe.
Yeah.
So
we may be able to do a part 2 because, there's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot to look out for. So,
but hopefully you guys found something. If we spoke to you in some way, or you at least were able to laugh. But yeah, like I say, take everything we said very seriously though, because. Hey man, 2022, we're not dealing with abuse no more, man. We're not doing that. And
if you're not genuinely deep down, you're not happy, then it's time to find your joy and find your happiness. It's too late. No, all this ride or die, you're not happy. Listen, goodbye.
That's
I don't
facts.
know where I'm going and why. I'm not dying. Why do I have to die?
Where Ryan? Where are we going?
I got questions. Listen,
I want to ride and live. What?
That part.
I'm weak. All right, hey, we appreciate you checking, and let us know, like, what other things do you see in relationships that are signs that the relationship is over? Let us know in the comments,
please, because you can like someone.
Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.